Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SportsPoint. My name is Frankie, Breit, and we're happy to have you back here for another edition of this awesome show. I am joined, as usual, by Brody Kupsky and Liam Statz. Hello, guys. How are we doing today?
It's a fantastic day. Me and Liam are trying to cling on to summer as it's like raining out. It's probably raining, but it's going to be raining like all week, so trying to cling on what's left of summer.
How do you feel about that?
I pretty much agree with that, and I think Frankie, missed the memo. And
He really did.
Nobody told me it was Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Well, I mean, even still, man.
You should just read our minds.
I went with the black and gray striped polo today, and I'm just looking sad while you guys are like,
It
party
is.
time.
It is party time.
It's party time all the time.
Quite literally, as summer is going down the drain currently, and it's very sad.
We're almost there. I mean, what? It's got to be.
It's already fall.
It's the 25th, so we passed the
already
kind of
fall.
cutoff. Yeah. All right, so it was a very eventful week. We have a lot of fun storylines to talk about. A lot happened. A lot went down. But there's one thing that I will enjoy to the most. Never stop enjoying talking about how much the Bears stink.
The Bears.
Bears.
Still suck.
Still suck.
Facts.
Okay. but
It is comical at this point.
What's
how
going
bad it
on
is.
with the Bears organization? Because it's further than just sucking. I mean, they lost, 41-10 to the Chiefs this past weekend. I believe, was it in Chicago or was it in?
No, it was in Kansas
It was in
City.
KC. All right. They're 0-3. 0-3 start for the Bears after all the hype, after all the trash talk.
Justin Fields is the next. He's going to run the division.
Justin Fields ain't your hero, buddy.
No,
He's not.
He
even
ain't the
close.
guy.
Not even
He
close.
ain't the guy, and I'm getting worried more so about this franchise. The FBI rumors. The whole scenario surrounding their defensive coordinator, he steps down, and there was an FBI investigation going around with him,
They
or
raided his house.
they raided his house. Didn't they raid like Hallis Hall?
That one was
I'm not sure.
substantiated.
Okay, we don't know about that one. Defensive coordinator steps down, and they don't address the team. I think it was Tyreek Stevenson, the defensive back, who was like, yeah, we haven't talked about how he's not in this building anymore. We're just focused on the Chiefs.
Poor.
It's like, how do you not talk about that in your meetings? But plus, how the Bears found out about the FBI raid, Peanut Tillman, who I did not know, former like Hall of Fame, I don't know if he's Hall of Fame, but like legendary.
No, yeah, he's
Not yet?
I don't think so. No. But yeah, he is. I mean, he's pretty legendary for the Bears.
Yep,
And credit
yep.
to him. He played pretty good in his seasons there. But if you're getting your information from somebody that's not on the team, really, it's already not a good.
Here's the
look.
crazy part. Peanut Tillman became an FBI agent in 2018.
Actually, what a legend! That is awesome.
Former football star turned FBI agent goes,
you
hey,
kidding me?
Bears, your defensive coordinator's house just got raided by the FBI. How do you react to that?
I think that perfectly encapsulates what the Bears are going through currently.
And then, later in the week, their equipment warehouse gets robbed and $100,000 worth of equipment is stolen.
Bears.
What are we doing?
Man, I think they just kind of given up on the season now already. I mean, there's still a ton of season left, but 0-3, you got all these rumors going around for you. Your quarterback is playing poorly, as you expected him to play like out of his mind. He's really not doing that. And it's still how many weeks left in the season? And then next week, you guys play another terrible team, the Broncos. We'll get into that, but oh man, it's going to be a rough season.
You know what I think they've done?
Yeah?
I think they've given up football and they've just started a comedy routine, like a traveling comedy
Probably.
routine. Goes around all the opposing team stadiums.
They've been bad
entertains
that
fans.
long, I'd believe it.
Yeah,
And I think they just hire coaches that are going to set them up to fail.
Yeah, they need some way to get money, and obviously playing football is not the way that.
Well, yeah, because they got how much stolen in equipment.
I think they go into every draft and they say, okay, whose career can we ruin now? Which
do we
number
want
one
to
overall
come here?
pick? No, wait, I want a wide receiver I'm not going to throw to. I'm going to trade back.
Yep.
Man, oh man, Bears, you got to figure it out. I mean, it'd be miraculous if they somehow turn the season around.
I'd be surprised if they get.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I love Luke Getsy, their offensive coordinator, former QB coach for the Packers. If they were to fire Matt Eberflus, promote Luke Getsy to the head coach position, I think that team might be better.
Possibly.
Well, Justin Fields would then blame him for all of his problems.
What's wrong with the Bears, Justin? Coaching. Can you believe he said that in a press conference?
I mean, it was kind of taken out of context.
Yeah.
But it's still not a good look, even if you're saying it. I mean, yeah, I get it. Your coaches aren't great.
And you're frustrated.
You're frustrated with the team. But you can't just go around blaming people for your mistakes.
Yeah.
They're not the ones throwing checkdowns to guys that are not even on your team, first of all. And you're running around because I get it, your offensive line's terrible, but it's not their fault that you're running around. It's their fault that you're throwing.
I was just talking about this too. For one thing, PR. You got to put your players to PR training. You have to know if you say an answer like that, one word, you say coaching, you have to know the media is going to take that out of context. But to that point about Justin Fields, we watched maybe the first drive of the Bears game before we started driving back to Stevens Point. And you notice every time Justin Fields eludes a sack, he doesn't look downfield. He doesn't look, after eluding a sack, to go make that pass. His eyes immediately are down. He's trying to make a play on his legs, which gets him into more trouble. He had Cole Kmet dragging across the field wide open for a first down. I think it was maybe third, fourth down. But, you got to get your eyes up. Go find the man downfield. Stop trying to do it all on your own.
I've noticed that just in general, he's doing a really bad job of reading the defense.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who it was against. I think it was either the Chiefs one or the game before that. He had a couple of receivers that were going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell that they were about to hit that route. It was every sign. They were signaling, hey, I'm going to be open, throw me the ball. And he spends 5 more seconds in the pocket just going, nobody's open. I have no idea where to throw this ball. And then he gets sacked. And then I'm
my God, crazy. Wow, why am I sacked? Because you're not looking downfield.
Speaking of a team that was reading defenses quite well, the Miami Dolphins, Liam.
Oh, man. That was so fantastic.
I don't know what happened to the does Denver even have a franchise?
Dude, I don't even know if they exist.
Who's Sean Payton?
Who is who's Russell Wilson? What happened? 70-20, and that is not a football score. That's
like a basketball score.
Yeah, it's a
High school basketball score.
Yeah, it is. That is an intramural basketball score.
Yeah, exactly.
That is exactly right.
Oh my goodness. There is really no amount of words I can put into that to describe just how terrible that game was to watch. Just awful. And Russell Wilson, you're breaking my heart as you Badger alumni. That's hurting me real bad.
It really is.
There's so many stats in there, but also storylines. So obviously, it's the highest amount of yards in a game ever, over 720 offensive yards, most by a team ever.
Ever.
Most points in roughly 30 years by a team.
3 points shy of the all-time record, which they did not go for, and they had the chance to. And everybody's like, oh, my goodness, why did you not do that? And they were in field goal position with a minute left. They absolutely could have done to at least tie it.
Oh.
Well, no, was it to tie it or was it to go ahead on that? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Either way, Mike McDaniel was like, I feel like if I do that, it's going to come back to haunt me later on. And he said it in typical Mike McDaniel fashion.
Speaking of Mike McDaniels, this was a revenge game. He's a former ball boy for the Broncos, now the head coach of the Dolphins, and he let him have it. And that's one of the fun storylines among this game. But also, Russell Wilson becomes the first quarterback, I believe, in decades, to be on either side of a 50-point win or loss.
Really?
In 2012, he won 58-0 over the Cardinals. Now this year, he loses 70-20, 50-point deficit. Wow. And loses. So he's been on either end of it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Something to hold your head up for.
Right. Hey, look what I did. NFL records.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a lot of fun moments in this game. Raheem Mostert, flashbacks to the 2019 NFC Championship game against the Packers, 4 touchdowns. And
I'm going to be real. He absolutely carried my fantasy team.
Nice goal.
He absolutely carried my fantasy team.
That guy looks like, I know he's not the fastest guy in the NFL, but visually he looks like the fastest person in the NFL. Every time I watch him on screen, he's flying.
He didn't even lead in rushing yards for the team either. He got passed by Devon Achane. Mm-hmm. He had 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Raheem Mostert only had 82 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he still had another receiving touchdown and 60 yards for
That's
for receiving.
insane. They did that all without Jalen Waddle. I mean, like, I think Chosen Anderson was their second wide receiver in that game. Formerly Robbie Anderson.
It's Robbie Chosen now.
Robbie Chosen.
But yeah,
all right.
Tyreek Hill, Robbie Chosen, and Raheem Mostert led the team in
I think at one point it
receiving
was
yards.
just, screw it, Tyreek Hill's down there somewhere.
And there was that clip of him scoring that touchdown, hopping in the stands and cheering with like the fans.
Well, speaking of hopping in the stands, now I could not find a single thing about this except for people on Twitter, which, don't ever believe what you see on Twitter.
Fact
but
check.
if it's true, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. Apparently, at one point in the game, Mike McDaniel hopped over the stands, walked up to some fans that were sitting there, and was like, call a play. Go ahead, call a play.
I did see a photo of that.
I
too.
saw the photo as well.
Yeah, and I'm trying, I don't want to say that that's for sure what happened because I wasn't watching that game. But if that's true, he's my favorite coach for the rest of time.
It might have been somebody dressed up like him, but either way, do you think if somebody's to do that as a coach, they get fined?
Yes.
You get fined
I
for the
think
craziest
so.
things in the league.
Yeah,
like-
it's the no fun league, absolutely.
yeah, that's right.
It's accurate.
That's right. That's right. Man, I think that might wrap it up for our huge storylines within the NFL right now, around the league, around the sports world. As what you said, the NHL season started. We're in the preseason right now. Hockey's around the corner, and here on campus, too, will be starting up in the next couple months. So
In approximately a month, actually.
there it is.
Pretty much.
Lots-
October 31st.
Yep, a lot to look forward to on that front. But let's stay on the topic here on campus. Guys, we talked about it last week. We did our best to hype up the Pointers football team, and we knew it was a tough game.
Yeah.
We knew this was a game that we would need a miracle. Just that kind of situation.
But you know what? We did get one. We held
We
them
did get one.
under 40 points.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Pointers do lose to Albion College 30-7, a team that put up over 40 points in their first 3 games this season. But not the Pointers.
Defense.
Defense, baby.
Defense.
That is a highlight in my book for sure. Look at some stats here. Charlie Smith to Miles Gallagher for the lone touchdown. That was a 75-yard drive. So Charlie Smith, backup quarterback, came in for Jake Lier, I think way late in the game just because the game was lost at that point. Tyson White led the team in tackles. Marshall Bukowski had the lone sack for the defense. And again, Miles Gallagher, when we went to go see the game against St. Norbs, like, the guy's a highlight reel, and he was kind of the highlight for the Pointers in this game, too. 73 yards receiving and the touchdown long, 29 yards. That guy can ball.
Yeah, he definitely
he
can. If you have a guy like that, that's kind of leading the team balling out. It'll look good. I mean, obviously you want the whole team to ball out, but honestly, this game only allowing 30 points compared to every other team who first week of the season 41, second week 42, third week 48, and they're only giving up 20 a game. I mean, only getting 7 on a team and allowing them 30 after they're scoring that much. I mean, I would say that's already a win in my book, even if they didn't win.
And absolutely, I totally agree. And in terms of the turnover margin, they were even. Charlie Smith threw a pick. Albion College quarterback Luke Lovell throws a pick. So, like in terms of that, they're dead even. I think that definitely shows in the score too. That they kept it respectable, I'd say, and that's gonna, I think, do a lot for them heading into next week playing Eau Claire in the pink game for charity. I think there's a silent auction going on there at that game. A lot of halftime entertainment. Again, it's for charity. A lot of charities here on campus and charities that are in cancer research, cancer recovery, those sorts of things. But Eau Claire, 1-2, so same record as the Pointers, and their only win came in week 1. This has to be a winnable game, and I think the Pointers have to win this game if they want to keep anything interesting this season.
I agree with that. Based on previous years, it's usually never that great for us, especially against Eau Claire. I think we're 0 for 3 for them currently. That as long as I've been here, we have not won a game yet that I've seen against Eau Claire. However, I do think based on our performance in the St. Norbert game and based on our performance in the Albion game, it should be a very good game. Like, I think that they will actually keep it competitive, and I would not be surprised if they pull out some magic late like they have been a tendency to do so far.
Yes, sir.
I definitely agree with that. And, Eau Claire is one of the worst teams in the WIAC in terms of football. Not as
He said it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, let's just say they'll probably put up 48 points on us or something, and we'll lose by.
We'll put up 52 then.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the plan. But yeah, I guess for the Pointers, I mean, it's a team that they could be competitive against. Eau Claire's a little weaker in football compared to most sports, but. For the Pointers who are kind of, after St. Norbert, they're running high. Albion, they had a week between, so, maybe that died down a little bit, but they still played pretty well. They can compete with Eau Claire, I feel like, in this game. It's going for a great cause. Like this whole week is Pink Week. I think Wednesday is Pink Day on campus, so if you wear your pink, great. We love it. I feel like they have a pretty good shot against Eau Claire this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it's for a great cause. We here at Pointer Studios will be there broadcasting the game this week. I myself, with 90 FM sports producer Ashton Parker, will be calling the game. Have a couple of our other members there helping us with the tech side of things. We're very excited for it. We'll be in attendance. And we get to wear those nice uniforms, right?
For the
pink
uniforms, usually they have some version of it every year.
If that was me, I'm getting hyped, as a player, just like, I got cool threads on today. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to ball out. But
well, they need something to get hyped about.
Yeah, exactly.
Keys to winning, guys. I got the passing game. Eau Claire has given up over 300 yards against them 2 times this season. That secondary has been obliterated. And I think Jake Lear's got to go out there. He's got to connect with Bryson Cashin, connect with Miles Gallagher, and just ball out 3 touchdowns. I don't care if you throw a pick. Just be confident out there with that ball. Sling it. Then you can open up the run game even further. But for me, that's what I got to see from the Pointers this week.
I guess for me, it just bring that confidence from the St. Norbert game over, a few weeks later. Obviously you had a break in between then and then lost the game. But if it's a team that you guys know you can beat, bring that confidence like you're going to beat them to this game. And like you said, if Jake Lear is confident in his playing, he'll throw 300 yards. Bring that everywhere on the team, defensive-wise, offensive-wise, in the kicking game. Doesn't matter who you are. You just got to be confident in yourself to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let's get in real close. It's my first year at Stevens Point. I have never experienced a losing season. I don't know the pain of these two, but things are changing this season, okay? Only game I've been to, we win. We're going to go 2-2 this week. Let's take it to Eau Claire. Good luck, Pointers football. Can't wait to see what you do.
Are you saying that you are superstitious? We said last week that you're superstitious.
Here we go.
So I'm thinking that, I'm also superstitious. I'm just saying the one game that you went to, they won. So
one home game.
Yeah, it was a home game.
This campus was just missing me, man. That's all it was missing.
Where were you?
Yeah, where were you the last 3 years, Frankie?
Man.
This is going to look so bad next week if something bad happens.
I know.
All right, another team that's looking to go 2-2, not looking to go 2-2 this week, the Green Bay Packers. Let's talk about their win over the Saints. Comeback victory. They put up 18 points unanswered in the fourth quarter after being down 0-17 all game. This was a gruesome game to watch.
Yes, 100%. I had to stop watching because I'm sick of this.
I myself never do that. I'm staying here. I don't care what happens.
I'm gonna what you finish.
Exactly. I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna be sad, but I'm gonna be here. And
I've never screamed so hard when he missed a field goal. I've never screamed in my life so hard.
We were very loud when things started going our way, and it was just, I don't know, pure joy and elation to see that young team pull off that victory after a game that was just going terrible. Nothing was going our way. Jimmy Graham scored a touchdown against the Packers defense.
Wow.
That one hurt real bad.
This isn't 2011 anymore. It's 2023.
It was shades of 2011. He was in the Saints uniform, and I said, Jimmy, where was that when you were a Green Bay Packer?
Exactly. Honestly, for this game, it was ugly because he had a ton of injuries going in already. And then Devondre Campbell gets injured during the game. And a ton of penalties. Killed them. Like, absolutely killed them.
I think they said 13 was the final.
13 penalties on the Green Bay Packers. It's just terrible. I'm going to say this. You can't win a game in the NFL when you do that, but somehow we did. An interesting stat here, Packers lead the league, I don't know if it's in penalties, with 33 or like lead the league in penalty yards against, but they have 33 penalties regardless. But they also lead the league in like penalty yards for them with like 154 yards with all those deep balls that we're just waiting for one to hit. But every time we go try to make it happen, our guy gets tackled. Like
interference, which,
yeah.
by the way, absolutely bailed us out in the fourth quarter because that's the reason we got into the red zone, which I'm not complaining about.
No,
I really would have liked to see him try to catch those balls. Because, I mean, I would have probably screamed even louder than I did when he missed the field goal. Because I'm still waiting to see one from Jordan Love.
And another key thing we did have the one. Romeo Dobbs, the fingertips. Romeo, I love you, dude. You're so good. His celebration, too. The heart.
He's
Romeo
got my heart.
He's got my heart.
I love it. No pun intended. Another big thing, a lot of Saints fans are saying why the Packers went Derek Carr. Obviously getting hurt. Rashawn Gary, 3 sacks. Hey, yo, Rashawn, you get anything you want, man. You can become an owner of Lambeau Field. You deserve it. But Derek Carr, they did confirm it was an AC joint sprain out. Not sure out how long, but like week to week. Do you think Jameis Winston coming in had a large effect to the Packers winning that game, or do you think at that point the Pack was in it?
I would say it has a little bit of effect there. I mean, you can't always just blame it on a new quarterback coming in, but compared to what they were playing before, it's like you had a team before with Derek Carr and then a team after Derek Carr left that just didn't play well enough without him. And he had a solid game himself. I mean, credit to Derek Carr for playing well, especially on a new team like this. But you can't just, blame it on just one guy getting hurt. It's a whole team effort with it. And, they had the ball way down almost to the red zone at the end of the game, but then just missed a field goal. I mean, you can't just, it's Derek Carr's fault they missed a field goal. No, it's not. Your team just didn't score well, and your team kind of blew it away.
Yeah. And to that point, we'll look at some stats here, unless you had something to add, Liam.
I did actually have something to add.
Please.
I feel like it had kind of a reverse effect where I feel like we kind of tapped into a little bit of Raiders territory when we injured their, prime quarterback. All of a sudden, we're like, wow, we can actually do this. And then it allowed us to get going. And then when we had a couple of good stops and we had a couple of good drives, I mean, I think that's what got us back in that game. But like I say, Raiders-ish, because that's kind of something that the Raiders do. So
we'll take a look at some stats here. Nothing to write home about because they didn't really do anything until the fourth quarter. Jordan Love led the team in rushing. Big question mark there. We'll talk about in a little bit. But Jordan Love did lead the team in rushing, 9 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. He said he'd do a Lambeau leap if he scored a touchdown on the ground. He did not. I don't blame him, though. We had a hill to climb yet. So I was like, yep, get to the sideline. Let's keep working. Next after that, A.J. Dillon, 11 carries, 33 yards for averaging 3 yards a carry. I'm going to talk about him, too. Romeo Dobbs led the team with 5 receptions, 73 yards, and the touchdown. What a catch on that touchdown play. I mean, they threw that fade ball to Romeo maybe 5-6 times, and they finally hit it for the touchdown against Ike Yadam, another former Packer who somehow nearly had the game of his life, sucked on the Packers, another former Packer that just balls out. Jaden Reed, the rookie, had some drop issues throughout the game, but had the one long ball that really sealed the deal to put us in position to score again. 3 receptions for 63 yards. Luke Musgrave, rookie tight end. 6 receptions, 49 yards. Dontavian Wicks balling out still as a 6th-round wide receiver. 4 receptions, 45 yards. And Patrick Taylor, 3 receptions, 23 yards. I feel like Patrick Taylor had obviously the one bad play, but why is the practice squad running back the best running back for the Packers yesterday? I
don't know what's going on with A.J. Dillon.
What is happening?
Yeah, A.J. Dillon's he kind of turns it up later in the season, but I don't know what it is. Early in the season, he just doesn't want to turn it up. I get it. Your friend Aaron Jones is hurt, but now it's your time to shine. It's your time to put on your boots and get out there and run over guys.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. Like, he's that kind of back who's supposed to run over people, but he's not. And he looks slow. He lacks acceleration. And there was a play where it might have been Royce Newman was kind of pulling to the right, blocking a guy. The cutback lane for A.J. Dillon on the left side was wide open for probably a first down. We're inside like our 10-yard line, but he runs right to the right into that tackle. And it's like, where's the vision? You're a second-round pick. You look so good as a young player, and now where is that A.J. Dillon?
Well, he has sustained a couple of injuries. And, I mean, running backs do have a shorter shelf life than the rest of the players. So it could be, and this is something I saw actually in baseball with Christian Yelich, is that when he sustained a big injury and it's psychological. It gets him scared of trying to ball out. Like, it might just be that where he's like, I'm going to do my best, but I'm deep down inside, I really just don't want to get injured like that again.
Yeah, and this is a miraculous win with so many inactive players, key inactives included Watson and Jones again. I think they could have gone this week, but they wanted to rest them before the Thursday night game. We've got a short week with the Lions coming up, which we'll talk about. But David Bakhtiari's still out. Elton Jenkins out. The left side of the line's kind of weak. And then add in Jair Alexander, best cornerback in the league, wasn't on the field. And somehow this team got it done, even losing Devondre Campbell, lost Zach Tom towards the end of the game. That's 3 starters on the line that were out. Like, how did they pull that off?
It's just role players that's kind of stepped up with those injuries, which is nice. You want those guys that will be able to step up, carry your team even through the injuries. I mean, those 5 names alone, plus Devondre Campbell, that's 6 starters right there on the team that are out. I mean, you got to have those backups that are able to step in, step up when they're needed most, and kind of ball out. And they did. I mean, they did well for themselves, especially in that fourth quarter. The Saints didn't have a point in the second half.
In the second half at all.
Yeah.
Shut up that team out in the second half, yeah.
They played with grit. I think that's what they need to keep doing is like all of our starters are injured, otherwise incapacitated. We got to step up. We're a very young team. We've got to play like veterans. And it's hard to do that when you don't have any, veteran presence and leadership. But I think that if they keep playing like how they're playing, if they just stay confident in the fact that, hey, we just made an amazing, like incredibly improbable comeback against a really good team that had been beating us down this entire game. I think that if they keep playing with that type of confidence, they are going to continue to win games.
Yeah, I think that to that point, it's going to be a great carryover into Thursday night. But we saw a lot of things going on in the secondary for the Packers. Jair was out. Carrington Valentine came in, the 7th-round rookie who's looked amazing in the preseason. But he goes down with a biceps injury, and Corey Ballantyne has to come in. He looked good. He's not that great of a corner, but he showed a couple nice flashes, gave up the one long ball to Chris Olave on that final drive for the Saints, but love to see that. And if another guy went down, then we were out of cornerbacks, I think, for the day. But another cornerback, Keyshawn Nixon made an appearance on offense. They talked about that in the offseason. They gave him the end around. He carried it for 11 yards, put his shoulder down for the first down. That was cool to see.
I definitely agree. I was kind of surprised because I'm like, is that Nixon running the ball? No way. He did well for himself. And, he also returns punts and kicks. So, having that option for him to play offense now is huge, especially, A.J. Dillon's kind of struggling a little bit. Aaron Jones is out, I mean, Manuel Wilson and Patrick Taylor are both solid backs for them, but, if you have that also extra option there, it's huge to have.
Why not? Yeah, another gadget guy to throw on there, like Tyler Swervin Irvin from 2020. I love that guy.
Oh, man.
We haven't done it a lot in the last couple weeks. We've talked about him, but Jordan Love, he is him.
He is Himothy.
Himothy, you couldn't have put it any better. I mean, the performance he puts on in that fourth quarter, that is a coming-of-age drive. That is a big man football.
He looked fantastic, and honestly, that's what we need out of him. It's, being a young quarterback, kind of taking the reins from Aaron Rodgers. He looks like Rodgers. I mean, just comebacks. He throws the ball well, and granted, he overthrew it a lot early in the game, and struggled a little bit. But coming back like that against a team that was beating up on you in the first half, solid. I mean, absolutely, you can't say more. I'm just grateful we have him.
Me too.
I'm going to add on to that, but I'm going to say this. I don't think we should call it Rodgers-esque. I know that Rodgers he's had a lot of really incredible comebacks, especially the one with 33 seconds left on the clock, which was too much time.
Way too much time.
I'm going to say that I think that it's he is his own quarterback. I think that we all want to see if he's going to be another Hall of Fame quarterback, but we shouldn't keep comparing him to Aaron Rodgers because really there's only one Aaron Rodgers, just like there was only one Brett Favre.
It's a great point.
He went out there and he did it. I mean, we needed him to get us an improbable comeback. He did it with 15 minutes on the clock. I think that that's the best job he could have possibly done in that situation.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, you saw him getting hyped and flexing and showing the biceps. Like, he was in it. The passion was there, and that gives the opportunity for this team, as a young team, to build into that and find an identity as a young, scrappy unit and just go out there with confidence. They have all the potential in the world. They just lack the experience. And I'm loving seeing that play out in front of our eyes. You know, like, we all know there's going to be growing pains, and they show that every week, but the resilience and the poise is second to none. Let's go to the play of the game here, guys. There's a lot of plays that we could obviously call out here, but play of the game for me, I think, has to be the Romeo Doubs touchdown catch. Going up, snagging that thing, rolling around. It looked like a Madden animation. Like, the guy is sensational, and I'm so happy that Brian Gutekunst and that draft team, that scout team, I should say, has been able to find gems in late rounds, which I think he did very poorly in his initial years as general manager. But in the last couple of years, he's really found some nice players in later rounds, and Romeo Doubs is one of them.
I definitely agree. I will go with Jaden Reed's catch. I mean, that set us up to get another touchdown late in the game. It's a phenomenal catch. He diving on the ground to catch it and somehow holding on to it while he's being covered. It's credit to him. He's third-round pick, kind of a smaller guy, not going to show out, but he really showed out for the Packers that game. And it's kind of huge to have him. He can, besides receiving, he can probably run the ball a little bit. He returns punts, returns kicks if needed. Having a guy like that is kind of huge to have, especially getting him in the third round.
Yeah, that was a great catch. Had a few that he should have grabbed earlier in the game, but as you said, great grab. You got a play over there, Liam?
I do. And now this one isn't like the biggest play, but it's a play that absolutely allowed us to win the game. The 2-point conversion.
I was going to ask you about that.
Here's the thing. If we don't score that 2-point conversion, the game's tied. We don't have the 1-point lead. That game is tied now, and we're in trouble. That game's going to overtime. Who knows where that little bit of pressure is off of that kicker's shoulders. He's like, it's okay if I don't get this one perfect.
Still got time.
Still got time in overtime, But I think that because we had that single point, that itty-bitty little bit of pressure on that kicker's back, that's what caused him to shank it right. So,
exactly. He's a rookie kicker. But when they called that, we were all going, what are they doing? Why are we doing this? Let's just kick the extra point and get out of here. Let's go. And then afterwards, we're like, yeah, great call. That was awesome. Yeah, great call. And I think Love, which not a lot of people are talking about this, but you can see him look left, look at Samori Toure, and he goes, all right, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna get down, and I'm gonna go run to the right. And I think that was clearly a fake to open up Samori Toure on that route, to have that defender come loose, come this way. Because as soon as that's done, he looks up and he just tosses it over there. So I love that anticipation from Love, knowing that I can go do this, and I know that's going to be open if I do. Great execution out of that guy. Again, Jordan Himothy Love. That was sweet.
He is so him.
That was sweet. So as we said, obviously we know this is not a perfect win. And there's some things to be concerned about with the Packers, and I think I had one, but I'm not going to say it because we talked about A.J. Dillon enough, but the health of the team is a problem right now. And that's a lot to be concerned about with David Bakhtiari's knee from 3 years ago now. Still hurt. Elton Jenkins with another knee injury after hurting his knee in 2021. And then the defensive stars and offensive playmakers that are just still out. That's what I'm concerned about. And hopefully things turn around in a couple days for the Lions.
Yeah, everybody's going to get super healthy on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Aaron Rodgers, bring that ayahuasca, please.
That's hopefully the plan. I was definitely going to talk about the injuries, but since you talked about it, just the O-line. The O-line has kind of struggled, obviously, with Bakhtiari out and Elton Jenkins out. And it's kind of a blow because those are two leaders on your team that, really show out every single week when they're playing. And it's a young offensive line. Obviously they'll have their growing pains. They're starting to get used to, NFL level or NFL caliber players that are playing out of their minds in the defense. So you got to get used to, your new O-line, and I feel like they just got to block a little better. I mean, Royce Newman's really doing well for himself.
Yeah.
But, some of those younger guys kind of struggle a little bit, and, they got to kind of step it up a little bit, I feel like, and protect Love. I mean, protect Love and
exactly.
allow A.J. Dillon and or Aaron Jones whenever he's back to run a lot. I mean,
Rasheed Walker's one of those young guys who hasn't had a lot of playing time. He has the talent, and I think as time goes on, as if he needs to be, he's going to improve. Crossing my fingers, that is. Liam, do you have anything that's concerning you right now?
I do. Play calling. There have been a couple of weird ones on both offense and defense. I look back to last week versus the Falcons, the complete crumbling of the defensive play calling that allowed them to mount their own comeback and ultimately win that game.
Polar opposite fourth quarters from last week to this week.
Crazy.
I wish we had this fourth quarter last week and whatever. Anyway.
It's what's going on. I mean, it's not like you don't have any lack of experience seeing what these teams can do. I mean, Joe Barry, credit to him. I have a weird love-hate relationship with Joe Barry.
We all do. I think we're all there with that.
Yeah, it's like defense makes a great fourth down stop with literally inches to go. Oh my God, he's the greatest defensive coordinator of all time. And then he goes into the Falcons game, and it's like, Joe Barry, why do you still have a job?
Right.
What is going on here? And same thing for the offense. There are a couple of weird plays. I think that they weren't executed well, but there are a couple of ones that were not great. Like, why are you throwing a check down there? Why are you trying to run the ball? They've stopped it twice now. There was that one, which I think might have just been executed wrong, but I still thought it was a very weird call where they, he handed it off and then he turned around and threw it back to Jordan Love.
Slips, throws it downfield.
It almost worked, though.
It almost did work, but I'm still in that situation. Why are you trying to pull that off?
Exactly, because that was their first offensive drive of the game, and the Saints haven't proved that they can stop your run yet. They haven't proved that they could stop a ball thrown through the air yet. Why are we trying to get pretty on the first drive of the game? That's a fourth quarter call being called in the first offensive drive of the game. Just bear down, and just run it up the middle of the field. A.J. Dillon's a big dude, obviously not playing the greatest, but have them prove that they can stop you before you're trying to do something like that.
Exactly.
And to Joe Barry's credit, I think Matt LaFleur is just hey, I remember your play call in the 2021 divisional against the Niners. That was a great defensive game. Where's that, Joe Barry? Yep. That's what I want to see going forward. Looking ahead, going forward, Packers versus Lions. Short week, Thursday night game on Thursday Night Football. Lions and Packers both 2-1 atop the NFC North. And Vikings and Bears obviously both down 0-3. Poor Kirk Cousins. The guy's on pace for 50 touchdowns, 4,000 yards, and to be 0-17.
Man.
That's just terrible.
Man.
Where's his help?
Obviously not on the Vikings.
Obviously not on the Vikings. But as we stated, Lions, Packers 2-1. Lions coming off a victory versus the Falcons. Something we could not do, still in pain. Packers key to victory, guys. What do we got?
I guess just being healthy, first of all. You got to have those guys, all our starters that are out right now. Obviously, they're not going to miraculously come back. Hopefully they do, fingers crossed. They just got to, get a little more healthy. Like Aaron Jones, I'm sure he'll be probably healthy enough to play this week. Christian Watson, possibly. Maybe Elton Jenkins, possibly. Bakhtiari, maybe. Devondre Campbell, I don't know what he's out with.
I think Zach Tom's crucial too, right tackle. He's
definitely
hurt right now.
Just getting healthy and just staying healthy during the games will, I feel like, help you in the long run, especially, past this game. You'll have those guys later in the season and ready to go. But right now, just staying healthy is very crucial. Yeah,
and I agree with that. I know we have an early bye week 6 this season, and there's obviously the week 4, week 5 games coming up here. If we can split those games, come out 3-2 going into the bye, and get healthy after that, I'll be happy.
The week after the bye is a Monday night game, so you still got a little more time.
Yep. Long week after that. Liam, what do you got for a key to victory against the Lions?
I kind of touched on it earlier, but just momentum, your confidence, and your energy. Like, I do think that this game, because we mounted that comeback, I think that we're going to take that confidence, especially as a young team. We're going to roll right in to the Lions. We are at Lambeau Field, so the energy from the home crowd should be roaring like it was last time, which you could feel it die there for a little bit, and then it came back when we realized we were doing some stuff. I had a couple friends at that game, and they were telling me that it was just dead.
It sounded like it too,
which
from the TV broadcast.
Unusual from Lambeau Field. That is unheard of. But yeah, confidence, energy, momentum. I think that those are all crucial couple things. We need to score early, I think, or opening drive touchdown. That'll let us get going.
That leads me to my point. You've got to make this Lions team play from behind. You got to make Goff uncomfortable, force turnovers. When he's throwing picks, that team's not winning. He threw a pick against the Seahawks, pick 6, his first pick in since last season. He went on that tear last season too, but make that guy uncomfortable, make that team play from behind. We've got to score early because that Lions offense is so, well-oiled. It's a well-oiled machine. When that thing's moving, you can't stop it. They're such a rhythm offense. And if we can, set that rhythm off and get in our own rhythm, have the offense shooting on all cylinders to start the game, I think we take that one. We have another big announcement here today. The game on Thursday night will be streamed live here at SportsPoint. I myself will be here at the desk doing a watch along, kind of calling the game. Come hang out with us. It'll be a ton of fun. We're going live at 7 p.m. on Thursday night before the game starts. And it's just going to be a nice environment watching the Packer game. More information is about to come out about that on our Instagram page. Stay tuned for that. We're looking forward to it, so come hang out with us. And with that, I'm going to send it to our Brewers guru, Brody Kupsky. Talk to me about the Brewers. I know you're happy.
That's me. So the Brewers, they are looking really good right now. They just clinched playoffs this past weekend, or on Friday, I believe it was, with a 16-0 beatdown of the Miami Marlins, who are also looking for a playoff spot. It was a huge game out of them. I mean, just the offense was clicking. Corbin Burns had run support finally. He never does, which was huge, even though he only pitched about 5 innings. It was, they just kind of took him out early, just kind of save him, especially with all the run support that he got. Big contributions out of the bullpen, only limiting them to only 1 run off a John Brody home run, which is pretty much just, putting up a score when you're up by, or when you're down by 15 runs. And then big 9th inning relief appearance out of Roddy Tellez, our first baseman. That was absolutely perfect. He had a really solid inning of relief. So,
first career strikeout.
A reliever of the year, Roddy Tellez. But subsequently after that game, they proceeded to lose 2 straight against the Marlins, which...
They lost to a fish, man.
Credit to the fish. They're trying to fight their way into the last wild card spot, which is currently technically tied right now, Arizona and the Chicago Cubs, who the Cubs recently just won a few games to kind of keep their NL Central hopes alive.
Hey, shut up, man.
I know. I don't want.
Talk to me about the Brewers, not the Cubs.
Did you even announce that they're in the postseason yet?
Yes, I did. I said they clinched playoffs.
Yeah!
Yes. The Brewers now clinch playoffs because they won against the Marlins Friday night. But they did not clinch the NL Central yet, which if they do, hopefully they do, it'll be fantastic. Unlike that light going out.
That light going out is not looking good for our chances.
It's not great.
Hey, can we get the crew in here?
Right now, the Brewers, I feel like, have a pretty good chance at clinching playoffs because their final few games are against the Cardinals, who they have beaten this year, and then a 3-game series against the Cubs. And if they win against the Cardinals and already clinch, I mean, it's not as much pressure against the Cubs. Cubs, meanwhile...
What's our magic number to clinching again?
1 game.
1 game, please!
Heck yeah.
Please give me 1 game, man.
And it's looking really good because the Cubs have to play the Braves, who the Braves are fantastic this year, and then they got to play us. So... I feel like it's going to be...
We got it.
It should be an easy lock for the Brewers to win, but...
We got it.
there's some feeling, that it's going to be difficult, but for the Brewers,
We'll be fine. Come on.
We're good.
Brewers clinched playoffs already, so
They're going to the World Series,
we're not
man.
too worried.
We're going to the World Series.
There's no crying in baseball. We're going to the World Series, man.
I definitely agree. They have a shot to do it, but Brewers baseball is looking fantastic. Hopefully they can close it out starting Tuesday against the Cardinals, and if they do that, we're in for some celebration, and
We're going to the World Series.
And like they said, we're going to the World Series.
All right, let's do something here. Let's make a bet.
Oh, okay.
Do we want to bet on the Brewers or the Packers?
I'll bet on the Brewers.
Okay. If the Brewers don't win that one game, I will shave my mustache.
All right.
Okay, what's on the other side of the bet, though?
You buzz your head.
I'd rather go. How about go through the table? How about that?
Go through the table. All right. If the Brewers lose, I shave my mustache. If the Brewers win, you're going through a table.
I'll go through the table.
You heard it here
You want to
first.
shake
folks.
on it? You want to shake on it?
Next week, man. I just exposed myself. I'm wearing shorts. That's the bet. I don't have a table for you to go through. I love that table too much.
We'll buy it cheap.
We'll find
One for you to go through. Yeah, all right. Go Brewers, go Packers. Thank you so much for joining us here again at SportsPoint. Thank you to Brody Kupsky and Liam Statz, my awesome co-host here. And I want to say one thing. We were going over some love quips for Jordan Love. What kind of fun sayings? Does McDonald's still use "I'm loving it"?
They kind of do, yeah.
Okay, well then forget that idea. I was just thinking we could go.
You're gonna steal it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving Jordan Love.
I think we might get sued by McDonald's if we try that, though.
Hey, I'm an unmonetized campus college sports show. Please leave me alone. Good luck to all our campus sports teams around the school here, and good luck to the Packers. Good luck to all the Wisconsin teams around the state.
Go Badgers.
Go Badges. Looking forward to the Pink game on September 30th. SportsPoint will be there broadcasting the game live. We can't wait to see you there on the stream. Thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks to the crew, Keaton, Waala, our tech producer in the booth, Aminee, Hoff, our floor manager. And again, tune into the live stream on Thursday night. Keep your eyes posted. Keep your eyes peeled for more social media content and information about the event. From all of us at SportsPoint, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.